One of the most difficult part of making a big change in your life, like a career change, is to realize that the people you thought were going to be cheering you on are actually the people who are questioning you the most. I know this one personally because I was a nurse and I became self-employed, and doing that change involved doing a lot of change in other areas of my life. In this video, I want to explain to you why this is happening and how you can keep moving forward even if you're experiencing that. Hi everybody, my name is Gabriella and I am a nurse, life coach, and a perfectionist in remission. And if you are one or you're deciding today that you want to be, come with me in this video so we can all learn together. First, I want to explain to you why this happens. A lot of people think that when they announce a big change in their life, everybody's going to be like, yay, I'm in your corner, go for it, yeah, like being your cheerleader. But sometimes the reaction is actually more hesitation, concern, or even criticism. And the reason why is not because they don't love you, they do, but sometimes the changes forces them to question their own choices. And that can be very uncomfortable for them. And that uncomfortableness is now projected onto you, even if that's not what they want. That's what's happening. So maybe you leave a stable job and they will question your stability. Or maybe you're changing career and now they're worried about your finances. Or maybe you're moving into a different country and now they're trying to figure out how they're going to stay in contact with you. Some people are not that comfortable with change. The reason why is that our brain loves predictability. And when something's really outside of the norm, our body or our nervous system can interpret that as danger because it's out of the ordinary. A normal human behavior might be worry for you that you're making those change because they are uncomfortable with the change. And it's biology. It's completely normal. They don't have anything against you. This is just a normal response of their body, of their experience, of what's happening at this moment. And although their first reaction might not be what you're expecting, it doesn't mean that they disagree with what you're doing. Sometimes the first time that you talk about it, it can be very surprising for them and they don't know what to say. And maybe they have a knee-jerk reaction about what's happening. And maybe the second time that you talk about it, they respond to it in a different way. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they disagree with what you're doing. I really want you to be clear with that. They may be genuinely worried, but it doesn't have to stop there. It's not because they're worried that this is a sign that you should not go forward with your decision. Because if you do believe in it, it will happen and it will show them that they were wrong. That will give them a different perspective about life and even help them grow in a different way. So that's the number one reason, is that people are afraid of change. Another reason why people might be on the fence about your career change or about any big changes that you do is that you don't have the same definition of success. I'm going to ask you right now and write it down in the comments. Let's do this exercise all together. What is your definition of success? And then you can ask yourself, what's their definition of success? Do these two definitions need to be the same for it to be true? And you're probably like, no, they don't need to be the same. And that's right. It's not because your definition of success is one thing that their definition of success is better than yours. It's just different. And that's because you value different things, and that's completely fine. It's okay that you don't value the same things. It's okay that you don't measure success the same way. And someone's definition of success can be like having a stable paycheck, having a predictable income because they have a house and they have children they need to take care of. Your definition can be different, and maybe it's similar to mine, where you're looking for freedom, you're looking for autonomy, to build a life where you can have location independence and you can choose when you want to work, where you want to work, and which country you want to work. These two definitions are very different, but it doesn't mean that one's better than the other. You cannot compare those two things. Just knowing this should remove an entire layer of comparison, because that's the other thing that might happen. You might compare yourself to them. They might compare themselves to you. When really, it's a normal reaction, but it doesn't have to be the same. It truly doesn't. So neither is wrong. The problem happens when you expect someone to celebrate a dream that they would have never chosen for themselves. The third reason why some people might not be as excited is that they view risk in a different way. For some people, risk is exciting and you want to move towards it. That would be entrepreneurs, that would be poker players, somebody who's having just a different kind of mindset. And for some people, risk is really scary. They want to remove it as much as possible. They want more stability. And there's not one that's better than the other, really. If somebody has built their entire life around security, your decision to take a risk might feel really irresponsible to them. The reason why is because they did not live the life that you lived. Sometimes people are not rejecting your dreams, they're rejecting their own fear. And unfortunately, that can be projected onto you, whether you want it or not, and whether they want it or not. What can you do when this happens? How can you continue to move forward when you don't feel supported by the people that are most important to you? This is the biggest takeaway from this video. It's so simple and it's so hard. It's that you need to be the biggest source of motivation and belief for yourself. You don't need them. Really, all you need is yourself. I'm telling you right now, you need to be responsible for your dreams. You need to show them that there is a way out. You need to become that inspiration that this is going to happen. And you're going to do that by proving it, by doing it. And so when you have that sense of belief in yourself, everything's going to be so much easier. When I started my business, I actually became a social media manager because that was what was needed at the time. There was a really big demand, but there was low supply. I remember thinking it will happen. I was just thinking about it actually makes me quite emotional. In my mind, there was no other option. It was going to happen. I was so determined that I was not even seeing any other possibilities. So I want that for you too. You don't need people's opinion. You only need yours. If you truly believe into something, you're going to have to learn to dilute the noise, the stimuli that's around you, dim that down, and concentrate on really what's going on inside of you. So that's my first piece of advice. You don't need other people's opinion. All you need is really yourself. And your confidence should not rely on other people's approval. How can you expect other people to believe in yourself if you don't? This was the biggest game changer for me. If I don't believe in myself, how can I expect other people to believe in me? That was helpful to decide to make the change, but also when I went to sign in clients, I felt so confident because I knew that if I wasn't feeling confident, they would not see it either and they would not believe in me. So what you need to do is to first believe in yourself and then show other people around you that you're accomplishing what you want to do. This actually brings me to my second mindset shift. What you need is evidence, not only for yourself, but for them. Instead of asking yourself, do you think this will work? Make it work, make it happen. Create the thing. Stop thinking about how to make it happen. You don't need to think, you need to do. You need to do more than you're thinking because your thinking will come through doing. It will come intuitively. Once you try, you can reiterate, you can use this as a draft, and then you can go research, okay, why hasn't this worked out? If you stay in that analysis paralysis, this is not going to help you move forward. So slowly build evidence that this is working. Take photos, take videos, start a YouTube channel, show your progress and document what's happening right now. One crazy thing that I did, I feel a bit ashamed of that, but it worked out, so it might work out for you too. I was feeling so lonely because I had left all of my circles that I would film myself like this every day talking about what I did. And at night, I would watch the videos and then be like, oh my gosh, this girl is so cool. She's really doing it. So if you don't have other people that are believing in you, you can start taking evidence that this is happening by only recording yourself on camera and then watching it afterwards. It's simple and it will feel awkward at first. But what's also cool about doing that is that you can use this content later on if you're trying to build a brand. I think one of the most rewarding thing about creating a business is showing the progress over perfection. The more that you document, the more the evidence will become real for you. And that can also be going at a coffee shop every day of the week at 1 p.m. and working on that one thing. When I did my career switch, in my plan, I was going to go to the Happy Goat at 1 p.m. from Monday to Friday. I would have a list of 3 things and I would not leave until they were done. If it was taking me 1 hour, great. If it was taking me 5 hours, okay. But I kept showing up, and this proved to me that I could do it. And I started to feel more confident in myself by showing up every single day. Now, the third mindset shift, I actually have a whole video about it. It's called You Don't Need More Motivation, You Need These. It's to be more intentional about your environment. Your environment really matters because we are social creatures and we normalize what we are surrounding ourselves by. So who do you surround yourself with? Do you have a community that you can count on? For me, I had joined multiple online communities. So I was surrounding myself with people that were ahead of me. I was constantly being reminded that my goal was attainable. A little bit like running. If you want to become a runner, go to run clubs. Surround yourself with people that have similar dreams, that are making it real for you to think, yes, I can do this. And everything else that's taking your energy, dim it down. Don't give as much importance as you used to. So it doesn't mean that you have to cut people off. It means that you really need to be careful with who you give the front seats to your dream. Give the front seat to the people who believe in you. Get yourself a coach. Get yourself somebody who's done the process before. The more that you surround yourself with these people, the faster you will reach your goal. At least that's how it was for me. So we're coming towards the end, and I want you to remember that sometimes people who love you may not be the most equipped to support you in your next chapter. So your job is not to convince everyone that you can do it. Your job is to be that person who can carry that vision forward. Once you get there, people will spin around their chair. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did it. And it's such a nice feeling. You'll see that things will really change. There is an end to this. People will turn around once their own fear have settled. I hope that relieves some of the burden that you might feel over your shoulder. I know how lonely this can feel, and I want you to know that you're not alone in this. That's why I want to build a community of people that all encourage each other. So I'm encouraging you to write in the comments, who do you want to surround yourself with? If you've stayed until the end, you're the best. I really appreciate you. I hope that this video gives you some inspiration. If you have ideas for other videos, I would love to hear about it. I'm making these videos for you. And these, so far, are videos that I wish I had for myself. Leave me a comment, leave me a like, and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you in the next video.